How you doing there, my friends? This is Bill MacDonald, the writing doctor. Today we're going to figure out how to get a 1 or a 2 using the word expository for 4th, 7th, and 9th grade. But first I wanted to start with a bell ringer for editing like I did yesterday when we were learning how to get zeros. Do me a favor and share this video with your teacher friends. If you're a parent or a student, welcome to how to get a 1 or a 2 with a little preview of editing. I thought today we would work on spelling since that's towards the front of my binder. If you are going to follow along in the binder, it will be pages 33 through 42 with homophones, words that sound the same, but they look different. And so that's why when I teach editing to students, I say that it's important to read solo. S-O as in softly saying the words, pronouncing the syllables, chunking the word, whatever you want to call it, or loudly when you're doing it with a group or the whole class. That way you can see what the words look like and hear what they sound like. Because with homophones, they sound the same coming out of that phone called your ear, but they look differently. So I'm going to show you 2 or 3 little techniques that you can do with homophones that will make your lesson more interesting. So what I want you kids to do who are watching this, let's see who can draw the best picture in a complete thought based on one of the sets of homophones that I use. It can either be a comic strip, it can be just one picture, that's fine. There's about 50 or 60 in the binder, but I just wanted to practice with these that I had here first. And it's how to creatively teach homophones. So students, if you decide to draw a picture for me, let your teacher send me a picture of it on Facebook, and we can kind of compete and see who has the coolest pictures that go with the homophones that we talk about today. And then we'll get right into how to get a 1 or a 2 in expository. So let's go ahead and show you our homophones that we're going to look at. The first one is starting on page 33. The first word is fair. And I underlined the AIR because you can think, oh, fair is when something always is right, or fair, same sound, different word, AR, a rental fee. And so what I would like to do is I'm going to make a sentence, and then your job as students is going to be to draw a picture with those 2 words in a sentence written out and a picture that's colorful that goes with it. I'm going to say something like this, I think. It's not fair that they charge so much to go on that fair. The fare for the, usually like there's little boats, a ferry that charges you, or you rent something as it says there and you pay a certain fee. What is the fare that you're going to have to pay? So it's not fair that the fare is so high for some object. So you can draw a picture for me of somebody trying to buy something and the price is a little bit too hard. So I want to see like an angry face, because when they say that it's not fair, they're not going to be too happy. Next one, whether. That's like either or. And so we can say, let's take out the he and the her. He or her, one or the other, is that whether. And the other whether has the word heat hidden inside of it. It's just reversed in the letters, but you can see the one that talks about the temperature has heat, and the other one doesn't even have an A in it. So that's how you can tell the difference. So I wasn't sure whether or not to wear my shorts or my pants because of the weather. Period. All right. Where, as in here or there, or where is in as in earrings. And so students, try to find something in the word that will help you remember, because if you see the word, it's going to look differently, but it's going to sound right. And so a lot of students, a lot of you are going to pick the wrong answer when it's multiple choice, because you're not used to telling the difference between which where is which. So I don't know where I would wear those expensive earrings. Since I had earrings there, let's go ahead and check our next one. Pair, as in EA, eat, or pair, AIR, pair of Air Jordans, AIR. I'm not sure if I'm going to eat one pair, singular, or a pair of them. And so you can either draw my picture of a student trying to pick between one pair or a pair of them, meaning two, or you can come up with your own sentence and make your own picture using one of these, and that would be really cool too. Next one, we're on page 37 for you teachers that are following. Weight, IGH, I get heavy when I gain weight, or wait, IT, wait until it is time. I can't wait until I lose enough weight to go under 200 pounds. Those of you that have been following me, students, your teachers have been following me, and I've been trying to lose about 40 pounds, and so far I've done that, but I can't seem to quite get under 200 yet. I'm right at it, so close, but still so far to go. All right, we have whale, WHA, water, huge animal, or whale, WA, whine a lot. So let's pretend like we went on a whale watch and my sister started to wail because we paid so much money and never even saw one of those animals. And I didn't say whale again because I would not want to teach repetition when I talk. So let's not teach repetition when we write. All right, this is my favorite one, actually. I'm going to give you an extra one here. Marry. Men aren't really ready yet, so it's sort of like an acronym. Marry, E, I would grab my heart and say it's an excited emotion. And there's one more, capital marry, the person. So listen to me say this sentence with the words, and then you try to figure out which one you're going to write as you write the sentence, and then you can draw a picture of what that might look like. I was merry until I had to marry Mary. Let me do that again so you can see my hand gestures and facial expressions. I was merry until I had to marry, holding my ring finger, capital Mary. So try to write that sentence and putting them in the correct order, and have somebody about to get married and realizing that they don't really want to marry Mary. And so they're not going to be very merry about that, will they? Next, moan. Needed to mow. Moan, a noise. I let out a moan, a noise, when I realized the grass had not been mown since before the hurricane that came through the Rio Grande Valley. Moan and moan. Two more left and we are done. So you don't have to draw all of these students, but I would love for you to pick one of them and write a sentence using the order that I gave you, or write your own and then draw a colorful picture of it, send it to me, and we'll have a little contest. I'll give you a couple of days today, since today is Thursday. Hopefully within a week, some of you guys could send me a picture through Messenger as teachers, that your teachers take a picture of it and they can send a picture of it to my email or my Messenger. Sun, UN, when you look up, you see the sun, and sun, my little kid, and you can draw a little stick man because the person is an S-O-N, and when you look up, you see the S-U-N. My son and I took a walk under the sun at the golf course, and that's my background, so that's why I figured I'd use that with you. The last one, size, S-I-Z-E, that my size increase, my zipper expands. Your zipper is going to probably pop. That's what happened to me. I had to keep buying bigger and bigger pants, students. So try to be careful of what you eat and how much you eat so you can stay in good health and live a long life. Size, present tense, SS, a soft sound are size. Okay, that could be you're tired or you're frustrated with someone. My friend always sighs when he looks at the size of his belt. Now, I'm going to say that's a negative. So make sure that when you draw the picture for him, if you choose that one, that you have a picture of somebody not looking too big and have it wearing a really big belt. So that means they might have a little bit bigger body than normal. And now we're ready to transition to how to get a 1 or a 2 using this word expository. Okay? So regardless of what the topic says, we're gonna write a W there. And then we're gonna put an O, which will be a 0 or a circle here, and a W. We're gonna wow the prompt. And what that means is underline the word right. And the cool thing about a W, if you look at it, you can see 3 fingers. So the first section is read. The second section is think. The third section is write. So in the third section, we're gonna write our wow word, where we underline right and circle the key words. Write about your favorite way. Favorite way, we're gonna circle. I'm gonna put positive, and way is singular, to spend your time. Okay, spending time, things that I like to do. And it doesn't say free time, so it can be work, it can be play, it can be relaxing, it can be anything you want, as long as it's something that you enjoy doing as part of your 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Explain. So just for the teacher's benefit, students in 4th grade, they tend to give you 2 sentences, and the first sentence is your idea sentence, where you're going to get your central idea, the way that you enjoy spending your time. And the second sentence is the explaining part. They want to know why you choose the idea. Give me a reason, give me an example that you explain. Explain what makes the activity special to you, okay? Special, again, is positive. And when you're saying you, we're saying me, and we're saying you're saying my. Write about my favorite activity. So something that you can do if you struggle with writing prompts, so that we can have a clearly written central idea. My favorite way to spend my time, or you could say capital, my favorite way to spend time is fill in the blank, whatever it is, and that way you're already doing what they ask you to do on the first bullet. So if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little fingers, and I place a 1, 2, 3, 4, and an E on the last one, or a C. The E is going to stand for ending and editing, and the C is going to stand for conclusions, content, and conventions. Okay, so basically this part right here, students, is called a student rubric. Okay, and it doesn't matter if you have an elementary one or a secondary one like we have on page 7 of my daily detailed expository and editing lesson plans. Write an essay explaining the importance of being honest. So we underline the word right. Explaining, of course, expository, importance, and being honest. Okay, honest is a positive thing. So if you don't think that you need to be honest with people for whatever reason or yourself, you can say that, because it just says right about the important. It doesn't say right about why being honest is important, right about the importance of being honest. You can say, I think it's absolutely ludicrous to always tell the truth because people use it against you. If you're going to say that in the body, you have to tell me why and explain. But we're not trying to get to 3 land and 4 land right now. We're just trying to say, okay, honesty. I'm going to make the same little 5 fingers, but I just want you to be aware that for 7th, 9th, and 10th grade, they put these 2 bullets together. Just remember, it'll say organize and develop your ideas in detail. Now, the reason I kept them separate is because before you can develop something, you have to organize it. Before I can get to a 3 by explaining, I've got to be able to get 2 by organizing, like expository. So let's use the word expository to talk about this first bullet. It says clearly state your central idea. In 7th and 9th grade, it's going to say clearly state your controlling idea and your thesis. So may the ones be with you. I want you to take a look on top. The word expository has 1 I in it. Okay, so I'm going to make a little stick man and pretend like we're pirates. I need 1 idea. I'm going to call that my yellow light, about the TO, the topic. And I did this last time. I need 1 idea about the topic. And so if your students can follow that first bullet and clearly state their central idea, if you guys can do that for your teacher, your favorite way to spend time, you don't have to say those exact words, because you could also say, what other words could I use besides favorite, way, spend, and time? What other way could I start in terms of a whistle, an attention getter, a hook? And that's when you're trying to get to 3s and 4s. But all we got to do to get to 1 land is say, do I have 1 idea about the topic? And if you're a secondary student, same thing. I need 1 idea about the topic. And in 4th grade, it's called clearly state your central idea. So it says a central idea statement. And so it's a CIS. It doesn't say CSI, that's a show. But if you have a central idea statement, draw my little head, and it's about, touch the top of my head, about the topic, then you can usually get a 1, even if, as we mentioned in yesterday's video, if you end up organizing your writing to be a story, well, they want you to tell reasons in the body, because may the 2s be with you says, organize your writing according to the purpose that's being asked. So what they'll look for, if they can see that you're giving reasons why, and or you're giving examples of what you mean, that's the right structure for expository. But if all you do is give a bunch of reasons, reason 1, topic sentence, main idea. Reason 2, topic sentence main idea. Reason 3, topic sentence main. If all you're doing is giving reasons, it looks like you're just hitchhiking, and we are going to have to explain 8 reasons if we have 8 of them, because it says to develop your ideas in detail. But in order to get a 2, it just says, tell me why, give me an example. And it says the same thing over here for the 7th grade and the 9th grade. State your controlling idea. So we're going to also call it a CIS in 7th grade, a controlling idea statement, in order to at least get a 1 about the topic. And in high school, there's a thesis statement, but expository, you're going to notice you can look at it 2 different ways. It's got 1 I, 1 idea. It also has 1 T. So you can say, I need a thesis about the topic. This is my thesis. So how do you use the word expository to talk about getting a 2? Well, how many do I need? 2 letters to explain it. If you can give me examples, EX, if they start seeing you have an idea about the topic and you have some examples, they're going to start leaning towards a 2. It'll be a 1-2 paper. Until you start doing the 3rd letter, EXP, explaining, you won't be able to get any 3s yet. Now, another part of expository, they're going to be looking for, because expository is about telling why you think things, I'm going to circle these last 3 letters. They need to look for at least 1 reason why. You can have 2 reasons why or 3 reasons why. And I'm going to use my head there to have an I for an idea. I need 1, 2, or 3 reasons why I chose that idea about the topic. If they see examples and reasons, then you are organizing according to expository, and that's definitely a 1-2 paper. And it just depends on how strong your grammar is, if you're capitalizing your sentences, if you're putting punctuation, if the ideas at least make sense together, then you can probably get a 2-2 or maybe a 2-1. But be careful not to write what I call an exampletory, where you give me a reason, and instead of explaining that reason with 1 example, you give a whole bunch. For example, if I was to use the prompt from a couple years ago, 2019, said, write about 1 invention. And so if you said, oh, my invention I think is important is a cell phone. Why do you choose it? Because we're going to try and get to 2 land. I think that cell phones have very interesting applications. And so what many kids do is they name every single app that you can find in a phone, instead of saying, you know what, I want to pick 1 or 2 apps in my cell phone, the ones that I know the most. That way I can try to explain those, because in order to get to 3 land, we have to develop our ideas in detail. But we're not going to worry about that today. All we're trying to do in this video is say, how do I make sure I can get at least a 1 or 2? Well, follow the 1st and or 2nd bullet, and you are going to get to 1 and 2 land. So may the 1s and 2s be with you guys as you try to write. If you have 3 to 5 sentences that have the idea, reasons, and examples, you won't get a 3 because you're not developing them, or you're not possibly choosing your words carefully, but they do have to give you a 1 or a 2 because you're following the first 2 bullets. So there you have it, students, parents, and teachers. That basically is how to get a 1 or a 2 in a nutshell. Feel free to message me. Don't forget, these videos are going to be free until the end of this month. If you would like to become part of the club, the elite club, where you get all of the editing, revising, reading, expository, persuasive, whatever you ask me, helping you with scoring, you'll be, when you're part of that club paying the $25 a month, then you get all of these webinars, all of these lessons sent to you straight to your email address with links to YouTube. That way, as teachers, you can show them to your students. But I just want to spend a couple of weeks showing you what you're going to be getting. Go ahead and look down at the bottom of either my YouTube, my description section, and I'll have a link there to become a member of the club. Or if you're watching this on Facebook, I'll put a little link in the comment section for those of you that might be interested. Or you can email me at writing_doctor@yahoo.com. Message me. I would really love to be able to help you. And to be honest with you guys, that's helping me too. It's been a very difficult 6 months because of having no in-school trainings. I think I've had 2 in-school trainings since March because of the virus. Most of you have been doing online, so I'm going to adapt. I'm going to be able to help you teachers and you parents help the students, help you kids have videos that are already made for you about specific topics, about different ideas, different writing skills, reading skills, expository skills, editing. We'll be talking about lots of things. So hopefully we'll get to see you on a daily basis as part of this writing and reading club. So you guys take care and hope you enjoyed the lesson. I look forward to seeing some pictures of those homophones if you get a chance. Teachers, I would recommend that you have your students practice coming up with a central idea. How do they like to spend their time in a complete sentence, and telling you why they like to spend their time that way, 1 or 2 reasons, and 1 or 2 examples. And right now, that's all we taught. So may the 1s or the 2s be with you by just simply responding to that. Same thing in 7th and 9th grade. It's important to be honest. Think of it like this. If the prompt keyword is 1 I, I'll use this I since I'm going from left to right. If it's being honest, if you're honest cause, then you get this effect. What good or bad thing can happen by being honest? And that'll make it very easy. So think of your 2 I's as the prompt keywords, sorry, as 1 I, and your idea about the prompt as your other I. So if you're honest, if you're always telling the truth, people will begin to trust you, perhaps with their very lives. Then you tell me why, because in order to get to a 2, you've got to tell me why or give me examples of what you mean. Okay? And we're not worried about whether you explain them or not, because right now we're just saying this is how you get to 1-2 land. So let me know if you have any questions, teachers or parents. Students, you take care, stay out of trouble, behave for your parents and your teachers. God bless each and every one of you.